and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Greetings and salutations, this is Christopher Daniels. I'm talking to my main man Delzinski right now. Any video game show, any video game channel, any YouTube channel called Vintage Shizzle is indeed hashtag Daniels approved.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here. Welcome to another We Talk. It's a We Talk weekend, and today I'm joined, as per usual, by my partner in crime, Smack Talks. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm very good, and we're actually joined by a special guest as well, because we have got the amazing Elle from The Revolution. How are you doing, Elle?
I'm alright, thank you.
Good. Welcome to We Talk. That's it?
Speechless.
Speechless. Well,
yeah, it was that music and zoned out.
I don't blame you.
There's nothing wrong with that music. Everyone loves that intro. Have you know?
Yeah, sure.
Daniel's approved. Daniel's approved intro, that is. Thank you very much.
He's got no taste.
Definitely has. Right. So this week we are talking about Money in the Bank, and we are going to give you a rundown of the matches and what we thought of the pay-per-view. And I'm going to say, you know, I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Well, it wasn't a pay-per-view, was it? It was a network special. Does that make a difference?
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. But I thought it was really good. So, first of all, I think we'll go to our guest. What did you think of Money in the Bank? That's for you,
I thought... haha. No, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought I loved Elimination Chamber, and it was like, over the past few months, WWE have had like these mediocre pay-per-views, and I don't know, this one felt just as strong as Elimination Chamber. Fair enough, there was some dusty finishes and stuff, but no, I still enjoyed it. It was worth staying up for.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely worth staying up for. Paul, what was your views on Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's some great matches on there. It was a good card and well worth staying up for this time.
Well, that was it. When you look at it on paper, and we looked at it last week, we thought it was pretty solid. And I think what was quite exciting, and we're going to get straight into it right away, is, you know, the way that we did have the pre-show match, which I think, did we get that wrong on the predictions last week?
Yeah, we went for Barrett.
I didn't.
Someone else didn't.
Oh, man. I'm not very good at the predictions, you know. So, yeah, anyway, we got it wrong. Elle got it right because you went for R-Truth. Why did you go for R-Truth? Just curious.
Because of like his whole thing on Raw, where I thought he was in the Money in the Bank, because I thought it might lead to him going into the match like later on in the night, but obviously not.
See that?
And
Wade
Barrett hasn't won a match for God knows how long.
Yeah, but that's why I thought he'd win it, because I thought it was time. About time they gave Barrett something. But to be fair, he did have that beautiful outfit on. That was something. Did you like that? Or did you
Not really, no.
He came all the way back to England to get that outfit.
I wouldn't have bothered if I was him.
It's a wasted trip, like.
I know. It was hideous, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It was horrible. But in terms of the match, it wasn't that bad a match, to be honest. And as I said, I was kind of shocked at the outcome of it, that R-Truth did win. Obviously, you didn't, Elle. You were fully on board. But I thought it was a good start to the night for a pre-show sort of match. And I don't know, does this go any further from here between R-Truth and Barrett, or do they go their separate ways? And what happens to Barrett, Paul? What do you think's going on? Because I've got to think now that this has just got really lame for Barrett. He's in like a downward spiral again.
It is. It's a strange position. It's like R-Truth, the comedy guy. It's like just something for Barrett to do, because there's nothing else for him to do. But it looks like it's going to continue, because I was just flicking through Raw and R-Truth come out with a cape and a plunger. So,
all right.
I think he thinks he's some kind of king. I can't remember what he called himself, but it looks like it's going to carry on. But I don't know. I think it's something that eventually Barrett will just overcome and get the win, and then hopefully he moves on pretty swiftly from it, because I think it's kind of holding him back. But it's just whether or not something comes up for him.
And who would you pair him with?
Pair him with, as in to face off?
Yeah, so who would be his next feud if he's going to move on to something better? Because the trouble is he's faced most people now, and
Well, that's the thing. He's faced the majority of like the mid card. So we've had people like Ziggler and Sheamus like all in the mix when we had the chamber match. So, it's a tough question. I don't know.
El Torito.
What?
Yeah, you'd probably win that.
Well, it's questionable. I'm not sure. I can't really think of who he'd go up against because obviously Neville would be someone that would be good, but he's already done that. He's been there. I think he's been in the room with Ziggler. He's not really going to feud against any heels. What about turning him face?
Well, he kind of was a face when he was Bad News Barrett because everyone got behind him. But I don't know. I don't know why they've turned him heel. I preferred him as a face. I wouldn't mind him if he went with like a UK faction with Sheamus, and then if Sheamus eventually wins the title, they could end up feuding over it and be a good way to get Barrett in that picture.
Well, they were trying that, weren't they? A little bit. They were trying that, and then obviously Sheamus kicked his teeth down his throat. So,
kind of backfired.
Yeah. What about you, El? Who would you put him in a feud with?
You know, there's no like real mid-carders because that's basically what he is. Everyone's either in a tag team or they're in like some other feud, like the Miz and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You could have probably put him with one of the New Day, but because they're so busy as like that triple threat, it's just Kofi Kingston springs to mind.
Haven't they done that already before, though?
Probably. So it's kind of a bit of a tricky situation when it comes to Barrett. I don't really know where he goes from here, and obviously we're going to have this feud with R-Truth a little bit longer. Yeah, I was wondering why they were doing that, why they were saying, he thinks he's the king. I was thinking, what? It wasn't like the King of the Ring was on the line, but they decided to twist it that he now...
They probably will put it on the line. They've done it in the past with things like that.
But it isn't King Truth either, it's King What's Up.
Oh, God.
That's what it is, King What's Up. What's up? What's up with that? Anyway, it was a good start, I thought. I didn't think the match was that bad. I thought it was a bit weird in terms of what they were going for, but it got us going, and then I don't know if you guys will agree or disagree, but I was quite shocked that they put the Money in the Bank match first. I was like, oh, brilliant. This is the best way to start off a pay-per-view. And I was just like really hyped about it, plus the fact that I couldn't watch the whole thing, so I was well chuffed that they had that on first. Did it get you going, the fact that they put this on first, or would you have preferred it to start off a little bit slower and move in to the Money in the Bank? I'll let Paul go first.
I kind of liked it. I'm sure it's something that they've done before. I'm sure WrestleMania's kicked off with it as well.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to start it, especially when you've gone to the ladder match as the main event. So putting them at complete opposite ends, I think that just balances it out perfectly.
What did you think, Elle?
Yeah, we predicted this in our prediction video. We said it'd probably come at the start with the main event being the ladder match. So, and it set the pace for the rest of the pay-per-view as well, so I didn't mind at all.
And it was a pretty awesome Money in the Bank ladder match, and it had some really decent spots in it. I think one of the stand-up ones was the power bombs onto the ladders from Roman Reigns, and also the leapfrog over, was it might have been Reigns or Orton's head. I think it was from Neville when he leapfrogged him onto the ladder. I'm not sure whether it was Orton or Neville, but Orton or Reigns, but it was just awesome, and it kind of was like what we said last week, was we wasn't sure who was going to steal the show. Was it going to be Kofi with all his sort of antics, or was it going to be Neville? And I actually think that they split it quite well. I actually kind of at points wanted Kofi to win that match.
I would love to see him win it, but I don't think he'll ever get the chance. He's just a spot guy.
Yeah,
he's like the show monkey.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating in a way, because I just thought to myself it would be like really unexpected, and obviously the winner in a way was unexpected because not many people wanted it to happen, according to Twitter on the night. Actually, let's just talk about that for a second, because a lot of people would have complained if Roman Reigns had won this match, but it felt like when Sheamus won it, they would have wanted to see Roman Reigns win it. What is that all about?
Because they're all awkward, that's what it is.
Yeah, they can never be pleased.
No.
Well, I tweeted that I was happy that Sheamus won it, and then some guy messages and said, well, why are you so against Sheamus? And I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what was going on. It's like Twitter's just a completely different world.
Yeah.
Well, I was really chuffed with it because I wanted Sheamus to win. And I think Sheamus's run since his comeback's been awesome, and I've said that probably on most shows. But I got things like, well, he's boring and he doesn't do anything interesting and he's stale. And I was like, but is he stale? Since he's come back, this is probably his best sort of run with his heel gimmick, and he's always been better as a heel. When he was a face, I get it, he was boring, but I don't think that was his choice. So I'm completely confused why people thought he's come back and he's already... Oh, that was it. He doesn't generate any reaction as well. Doesn't he?
Nah, that's rubbish, that.
Yeah,
He's been much better since he come back. I can get the whole thing when he was face, because that was a bit boring. But the change that he's had, the heel change, I think that's just done him the world of good. Yeah,
and I think every time he seems to do something like this, winning the Money in the Bank, it just generates more heat for him because... And I like it. I like the fact that he's obviously, he pissed off Dolph Ziggler, and he was pretty embarrassing for Dolph Ziggler, his feud, what he come up with that, and then he's moved into this, and now he's just going to be a pain in the ass for everybody because his ego's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think it's a good move from WWE. I thought it was a nice swerve for something that could have been overly predictable. And what did you think about Reigns in the match itself? I didn't think Reigns was too active apart from the powerbomb spot.
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he had a few spots. He did the powerbomb to Kofi on the ladder, and then he powerbombed Neville on top of him. Mm-hmm. And then there was that moment where another powerbomb. This is 3 moves the same. He grabbed someone, threw them outside, and totally took out everyone. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was I'm quite surprised he can do that, to be honest. But he's pulling it off. But he I just thought when we talked about it last week, and I think I was saying we would like something to happen to maybe stop him, and Bray did stop him. But is this just not another issue for Bray Wyatt that he's going to lose again?
I think so.
I don't know, actually, because for some reason in that match I thought Roman Reigns was being a bit like a douchebag, like a heel, but not completely. So I don't know if we're going to have I don't think Bray's going to be face, but I don't know. Just something seems a bit different.
I think the crowd would cheer Bray regardless.
I think you'd have a lot more people on side with Bray than you would Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think the trouble is with Reigns, again, it's expected for him to win this feud. So the best thing to WWE to do is not let him win it. But how many more times are they going to keep pulling Roman Reigns away from the title picture to put him back in the title picture, do you know? There's got to be a moment where when do you think he's going to win the title?
I'm not Roman Reigns' biggest fan, so it's probably the wrong question to ask. I don't know, I want him to go away for a little bit and work on his character and things. Because for me, he just doesn't do anything.
But that is his character.
I know, but
it doesn't get any better.
I thought he was going to have acting lessons and things. All he does is believe in that, and I want to believe in him, but I don't.
He makes that other noise as well when he does a Superman punch.
And then people Photoshop him with pictures of Brie Bella and crap like that, and then it's just get rid of the lot of them.
Get it all out right
now.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul? When do you think he's going to pick up the title? Because it's going to happen, but I just think that WWE put him a little bit closer and then just pull him away.
It's a hard question to answer, really, because they keep pushing him and then they pull him back. And then he's been in the main event picture, but then he's dropped down. And now he's in the feud with Bray Wyatt. But looking at sort of long term, you would think that this Lesnar thing is going to be in the main event for SummerSlam. So we'll have Battleground, SummerSlam. So there's the next 2 months. I cannot see him being anywhere near it then. I don't know, maybe the end of the year. Because they tend to bring in a new champion around, is it Armageddon, the last pay-per-view or something?
I think so.
It's like the December pay-per-view, that's tends to be when the new champ will come in. So maybe I could see it around then. And then, I don't know, going into the Rumble and things, we're going to start to get that built towards the Shield WrestleMania match that everyone seems to want. But yeah. I think they're kind of spoiling it, keep having Rollins and Ambrose and then Rollins and Reigns. It's just, if you're going to delay it, maybe keep them 3 apart.
Well, yeah, I think I'll mention that when we talk about the title match a bit more, because well, I'll save it. I'll save it because I think I begin to get that feeling that it could. If the more they overdo it at the moment, then the less excitement it has for that triple threat match when we do finally get it. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. In terms of Sheamus as well, cash in, a short cash in or a late cash in? Is it going to be like a Seth Rollins, like, you know, prolonged cash in, or do you think it's going to be quite soon? Open for him.
I think it could be a while because, like I said, with Lesnar coming up, I don't think I'd love to see actually Sheamus and Lesnar. I think that'd be a really physical match, but I don't think it's something we could see in the short term.
I'd like to see that match. That's what I think about Sheamus, though. I think he can have a good match with anybody because he's so physical, and you know he likes that strong style. So if you're going to partner him up with someone, then you know partner him up with the Beast because the Beast is just he's going to enjoy that. I think that sort of matchup. So I'd like to see that. How about you, El? Would you like to see Lesnar, Sheamus?
Definitely. I think Sheamus is probably one of the only other ones apart from Cena who you could actually go behind against Brock Lesnar. He's got like this macho, I can't explain it, but yeah, he's like thuggish.
Yeah, well, it's the style, isn't it? It always looks like he throws everything into his matches, and that's why I never really understand this whole thought process that he's boring, because he's not. And I think just because when he was a face, he toned it down quite a lot, because that's what you do when you're a baby face, unfortunately. But I think he might hold on to that briefcase for quite some time. I'm just trying to work out who he might cash it in on, and I don't think he's going to cash it in on Seth Rollins.
I don't think he will. I think it'll be
I think it'll be Roman Reigns.
I'm not sure he'll leave it too long because he's got this thing going on at the minute where he's saying everyone tweet him when they want him to cash in. So if he's going to do something like that, I don't think he's going to wait a whole year. Because surely that'll just die down.
I've just sent Sheamus 1,000 tweets. Cash in next week. So, job done. It's interesting. I thought the match was really good. Even guys like Kane actually did not too bad. Let's give Kane a slight bit of credit here, Paul, yeah?
What did he do? I can't remember now.
Climb the ladder.
He sulked at the end of the match.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good.
You know, credit. What do you think of Neville's first sort of performance in the Money in the Bank? I thought he was awesome. That was the one. I think that's what everybody got annoyed about, that Neville didn't get the briefcase.
Yeah, I think that would have been like what people expected, because Money in the Bank's usually a way to bring someone up to like the next level, and I think that would have worked with Neville. But I said this in our predictions. I think maybe it's a bit too soon for him. Mm-hmm. The only issue that I thought you had an amazing match, but I didn't like the finish where Sheamus just kind of pulled him off the ladder by his hair.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. But then again, wasn't it meant to be that he'd been worn down, so he just kind of got rid of him towards the end? What would you have liked him to do? I don't know what he could have done to knock him off.
He could have like broad kicked him or something.
How? On the ladder?
Pull him down and do it.
Ah.
Obviously.
I would like to
or he could have knocked the ladder over with a broad kick. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good. See, better booking than WWE.
The ending was pretty, like, when you think about it, for all I did love Sheamus winning, I don't know, it was a bit like, oh, is that it?
I think that might be what people got annoyed about. Like, if it was a better end, I think they'd have been happy with Sheamus.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was happy. I'm not going to lie, I was really happy. Just to have to check my Twitter.
I was.
It felt really short as well for Money in the Bank. I don't know, like, how long it holds up with the other ones. But I don't know.
Something that my brother noticed was this match as well. It was kind of interesting how a lot of it was just like one person spots each time. So, you know, in the ring, all you really had was like, first it'd be Reigns in there with like Sheamus, and then Sheamus would get kicked out, and then comes Kofi, then it's a spot with Kofi, then in comes Neville, spot with Neville. It wasn't like action everywhere. And sometimes we've had that where, you know, they have someone a lot fighting on the outside. It was never really a lot of fights going on the outside. 90% of the time they were all on the floor. So the focus was just on the ring. And I think that's something that WWE want to do. They just want to keep the focus on the action inside the ring. So it wasn't a huge amount of split action going on in this Money in the Bank. And I think we've seen a bit more than that in the past. Did you notice that?
I think so. I think it's just when there's so much going on, it's kind of hard to keep up with. So it makes more sense, really, if they've got something in the ring going on. But even sort of teamwork, there wasn't much of that. Like Ziggler and Neville teamed up to get a ladder, and then Kane just kicked it out of their hands, and that was it. So there wasn't really much sort of teamwork and working together, where I thought we might see like a bit more of that.
I think they missed out with Rusev as well. I was really expecting something to happen there, but
yeah,
What,
you
like,
know, that felt like it was missing.
or like another Rusev face expression.
that was what was missing.
It was. He could have just come up on like the on the big screen and just smiled or something, and it would have just been another insane Rusev face. It just would have been exciting. By the way, Kane's baseball slide was pretty awesome, wasn't it? It looked like he probably could have done both his knees in that baseball slide. And obviously, Randy Orton, the master of the RKO, was unbelievable once again in terms of that RKO to Adrian Neville.
That was great.
Exactly. So I think we were thoroughly entertained, and I think that a lot of people were entertained. They might not have enjoyed the final outcome, but I did. So there you go. So let's move on. This is your sort of expertise, El. This is your favourite bit, and we try and give Divas a chance most weeks, and we do actually spend considerable time talking about the Divas, don't we, Paul?
All the time.
We do, and there was certainly some serious twin magic going on in this match, which Paul loves twin magic, don't you?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
You don't love twin magic, no? Did you not know? If you want to tell the Bellas apart, then you have to look at their chest, basically, because that's what they were indicating, wasn't it?
Well, she pulled her knickers down as well to show off her tattoo.
Oh, yeah,
she did as well, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, that was funny. I forgot about that bit. Nice attention to detail. Yeah, so obviously we had the Divas Championship match, Nikki Bella versus Paige. We kind of expected some sort of shenanigans to go on, and it did happen.
Well, it gave it away at the very start with the Dusty tribute. You could see Brie wearing Nikki's like attire when they were all on stage, so it was like everyone knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, you pointed that out, didn't you?
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah, and the trouble is with it is, I think we've said it before, they don't really look alike.
Nope, not at all, not now. And I said to Paul on our prediction video, it kind of destroys what they've built up over the past year. Like, they've got individuality now. They've got their own styles and gimmicks. And I don't know, it kind of sets them back a little bit.
I think as well, the only other trouble with it is, if you look at Nikki's like so much more powerful now to Brie. Brie's like become this like useless sidekick that's making all the mistakes. And it goes into Raw as well. She makes another mistake on Raw. So I don't know if it's doing much for Brie Bella's career apart from just being Nikki's sidekick.
I'd like to say I hope there's some like resolution with all that though, because usually when there's two divas teaming up and this sort of thing happens, like with Leia Cool and stuff, eventually that comes to sort of some end, like Brie or Nikki will get sick of the other one. But with it being the Bellas, I'm not sure if they will go down that line again. I don't know.
Well, Elle brought up a great point about maybe having Brie turn on Nikki and cost her like the overtaking AJ's record. So I think that would be a really cool thing. And one thing that could actually indicate that was when they had the segment on Raw with Paige and the rest of the Divas. Nikki had actually come out and she says that ever since like she'd embraced the authority and helped Steph win against Brie. She kind of brought that up and says no offense to Brie, so maybe that's like foreshadowing something to come.
Ah, yeah. Well, it would be nice to get closure on that storyline. It's been long enough. I don't know.
It could also open like two feuds as well. Say if Brie does cost Nikki the title, you've got that feud going on, and then say if it is Paige who picks up the title, she can go like another direction, just to bring some more new feuds up.
Yeah, well, that's what they need. We said this before. You can't really say it's like give Divas a chance when you only have like this one major feud, and then all the other Divas just kind of sit around. I think I tweeted, that's Vince giving Divas a chance, just putting the whole roster in front of a monitor to watch the Bellas versus Paige. I mean, it's just not good enough. They need to make it better than that. So, what did you think about the finish with the whole twin magic? I'll give it to Elle first because I'm sure she loved it.
No, actually, I really did like it. I don't like twin magic. I've never liked it for a few years. But the way they did it this time, it was something totally new. Like, they flipped it on its head. So I appreciated it, and it made me like appreciate the match a lot more than I would have if Brie had just pinned Paige.
It wasn't really a PG sort of thing for WWE to do, was it? But maybe it's because on the network. But the whole thing with the whole, getting the stuff out the top, tattoo, that's not really typical WWE these days.
I don't like as well that Nikki wasn't disqualified.
Oh yeah, well.
She could have retained that. They could. She face it. She was going to win anyway. Like she was going to leave as the champion. But I loved it. I can't fault it. I really can't, because I enjoyed the match and I enjoyed the finish.
Paul, what do you think?
I totally agree. I really loved the finish. I thought it was a great match as well. Like they got a lot longer than they usually get for like a match. So I think that really added to it. They've done like quite a lot of things. Went outside, like they were working on the barricade and things. So it got to show like that the actual divas can put on a great match, just like the NXT women can. Just as long as they give them the chance. And then with the finish, like Elle said, it was something different. And we'd all been kind of expecting it was going to happen when we're seeing them dressed up in the same attire at the start of the show. So expecting that and then seeing it unfold that way, it wasn't what we're all expecting. And it was something different. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good way to finish it.
The match on Raw kind of follows on from that. Actually, the 2-on-1 handicap match sort of follows on from that. It's got quite a bit of wrestling in it, which is unique. So that WWE kind of let them have some mat wrestling going on. So maybe they are changing and turning a little bit towards giving them a proper chance now. And I think it's about time, because they had that hashtag going on for a long time and they haven't really done an awful lot with it. So, and I believe we talked about prior to coming on to We Talk that we talked a little bit about possibly some NXT women's wrestlers coming up. Who do you think is going to come up?
I would say Charlotte. I think she's the obvious choice.
And do you think that she's going to come and help Paige? Because obviously Paige at the moment is she kind of has no friends. She's like Billy No Mates.
She's been left on her own. She needs someone to help fend off this challenge of the Bellas. And with the whole locker room kind of turning on her and walking away and not giving her any chance, I think it's time that she kind of... I don't know if putting together an NXT sort of group of people, like the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, that'd be a brilliant idea.
That'd be great. I would love to see that. But I think it might just lead bringing in one as a partner at the minute. Just to sort of take the Bellas on in a tag team match, which again is something that I don't really want to see, because it takes it away from the title. It becomes a tag match, and then Nikki's reign just continues because she's not defending it. It's a tag team match again.
Well, why don't you get in there, Elle?
Yeah, I'll go kick some ass. I'll take the title as well.
I'm sure you'd jump at the chance to do that.
Yeah, anything to get off Nikki.
Oh.
Give Elle a chance.
Yeah, give Elle a chance. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag that one. That can go in the comment section.
Thank you.
Right, so let's move on to probably one of the best matches of the evening: Ryback versus The Big Show. What was that noise? Did someone just go? As
Wasn't me.
Did we not think this was good? This is the point where I decided to call it a night, unfortunately. Yeah, Ryback Big Show. What do we want to say about it? It was all a bit fudgy, wasn't it? With the what's going on with the Miz? Because the Miz is like becoming a bit of an in-betweener, isn't he? He's not. Is he heel or is he face or is he heel? And what's going on with the Big Show? Well, the Big Show's always been not quite sure which side of the fence he sits on. But first time he comes out and punches the Miz, and then he's just focused on the Intercontinental Championship. Why is his standards lowered so much? Like he's decided to want to become, IC champ. And there's too much talk as well about eating and stuff going on in these promos. There's like a lot of he's going to eat him, he's going to be feeding him, and I mean, what is this? Just two big guys at a buffet? I don't know, but I want to get your views on this one. What is this going to continue?
Probably. They need some stupidity on the card.
We're not. Me and Paul have said it before. We're not exactly the biggest fan of Ryback at the best.
Neither am I.
And it's difficult to see how far they can go with Ryback as IC champion. He's not being put in any consistent feuds. What happened to Bray Wyatt? The face of fear once again copped out and didn't really do very much with Ryback. But you know, it's just who's going to bring this credibility to that belt again? Now Daniel Bryan's giving it up, because Big Show's certainly not.
Ryback's not.
So who? We talkers, who?
I don't think it helps that people like Dolph Ziggler and Kofi have been like the champs so many times as well. I think that's probably just as bad.
Well, Ziggler's you get pretty sick of Ziggler's Intercontinental Championship reigns, unfortunately. Yeah. He's a great wrestler, but every time they give him the belt, it's just doesn't really work anymore. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about Ryback and Big Show. I don't know about you two.
All I would say is that I thought it was a bad decision to have the disqualification. Like, they've tried to build Ryback up and give him the championship, so it was probably the best time to just have him defend the belt. So I didn't really get why they had the DQ finish.
Yeah, I think that one of the other things as well is that the big payoff was surely to do the shell shock on the Big Show at this event, and they sold it. They gave it away before the Money in the Bank, Why they did something that I thought really would have been the only bit where people would have gone, yes, you shell shocked him, and that wasn't there either. It was all a bit of an anticlimax, I think the best word to say.
It was.
What do you think, Elle? Anything to add on our depression?
I kind of disagree. I liked that there was like the disqualification and stuff, because it meant the match wasn't going to go on for much longer, and I think the whole point is to have this like triple threat battleground. So I don't mind. It got the match out of the way and did what it needed to do. It didn't make Ryback look very good, but
is Miz going to steal the IC belt? I would like to hope so now, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind the Miz winning, actually, because I don't mind the Miz.
I used to hate the Miz like years ago, and now I just think he's actually all right. He's not awesome, but he's all right.
Yeah.
He's someone I could see winning it, and I think he'd be a decent person to have it, because I think he does put on like some decent matches. Just depends who his opponent is.
Yeah, he's good in the ring, and he's obviously good on the mic, and he's definitely better on the mic than Big Show and Ryback.
It doesn't take much.
It really doesn't. I mean, like I said, it just makes me hungry every time they talk about promos. So, I mean, let's move on. Let's talk about something that was absolutely awesome, and this was awesome, and it wasn't. I'm just going to clarify. It wasn't John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. Wasn't. Or Kevin Owens.
It was Wreck-It Ralph.
Whatever. It wasn't whatever I have said previously. Been misquoted. But it was John Cena versus Kevin Owens 2. And I am going to say that I thought the rematch was better than the first. Is that right? Do you think that? I thought it was better.
I thought it was.
Do you know what it was that made it better? Was the moment when it looked like it was going to be a botch, but it wasn't a botch. Was the I don't know what you want to call it. It wasn't a
sunset flip.
Yeah, it was like a sunset flip, kind of John Cena's version of the Canadian Destroyer, which is just like the ultimate botch, like the Springboard Stunner. But it looked awesome, and I was just like, "Holy crap! These two have done it again." It just looked like to me that Cena, and I'll give credit to John Cena because I never give credit to John Cena, but I thought he worked his arse off in this match, and I'm so critical of him that he can't sell. He still can't put on an STF. Look, he can't do that. But he put on a hell of a match with Kevin Owens, and this was so entertaining. It lived up to the hype. And the only disappointment for me was that Owens didn't win it, because me and Paul, and I think you, Elle, would have all wanted Owens to win this.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Paul, when you could kind of could you see the writing on the wall that he was going to lose it?
Not really. Like, one of the reasons I say this, I preferred this to the first one, was because the first one, I really hoped Owens would win, but actually seeing him win and win clean, that was a big surprise. So it kind of made us think he could win the second one. But at the same time, I kind of thought, well, John Cena's obviously going to win, and he's getting 1-1. So it felt like it could go either way, and there was so many near falls. Like, it just had you thinking, like, the match could end at this point, because we've seen, like, quite a few finishers We even seen finishes that weren't theirs. So we've seen like Owens with a code breaker and things.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It felt like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, like at WrestleMania, that kind of match where all the near falls. But in that match, you knew like who was going to win. Where in this match, I felt it could go either way, and I think that was one of the big things about it.
How many attitude adjustments did he kick out? 2 on it, I think.
2, I think.
Yeah, and that shocked me because I was like expecting him not to kick out of the second one, but it was like, oh, he's got out of that. I don't know how many pop-up power bombs did Cena kick. That was probably 2 as well, I think. I think they were even.
I think that was 2, yeah.
It was just that's what I mean though. I mean, you could call it a spot fest in terms of the amount of, you know, finishes and big moves. That move off the top rope though was crazy. That reversal, that was just like, whoa. And I think it just builds Kevin Owens' stock even more. It didn't matter win, lose or draw. I know we said we wanted him to win, but win, lose or draw, he's just elevated himself even more to the next level. And I kind of liked the whole bit at the end with John Cena giving him his props, you know, saying you deserve to be here. And now Owens has come out and spin that on his head saying, you know, I always knew I should be here. I don't need John Cena to give me any sort of, you know, verification that I needed to be here. So I love it. I love the way that Owens' gimmick's going on. And the match just... I'd say that's probably now become my match of the year.
I'd agree with that.
What do you think, Elle?
And you know, I think the only reason I prefer the first one, because they are both brilliant matches, because it was like the first one, and it was like this blockbuster event sort of thing. And I think we all kind of had an inkling that Cena might win. And I didn't like the end. I thought it was a bit too clean.
Yeah, but I think if they'd just done that and he'd walked away, then it would have been too clean. But the fact that he did the power bomb onto the ring apron, I think that redeemed it for me.
It definitely redeemed it, but I don't know. I just thought the first one was so like it was like this major blockbuster event. So I think that's probably why I appreciate the first one just that bit more.
We're definitely getting a third instalment of it, that's for sure. It's just I'm just wondering when that's going to be. Would I'd kind of like them maybe to gap it a bit and build it for a maybe SummerSlam.
I would.
Yeah, I think this is what we might have said on the predictions as well. We mentioned like saving like Owens' finisher and things for SummerSlam, make that like an event in itself, and have that as the final destination for them both.
Well, it's teasing now on Raw, Kevin Owens, in his interview, that he wants the United States Championship. So, I mean, it's building to this big final match. It's just, you know, when they have it. And I'm hoping that he's going to hit the package pile driver at some point.
I think he'll keep that the final match. I think that'll be the thing that gets him the win.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be able to do it? Because there's all that talk, you know, with pile drivers. It's not WWE.
I think so. It's not your typical pile driver, and I think if it's someone like Cena, then it's someone that they would trust to actually take the move.
Yeah, I just loved the whole you can't see me sort of stuff. It was like they knew how to put on this. It felt like you said Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. They knew each other's moves. They knew what was coming next, and everything just kind of clicked into place. Even times when it got a bit sloppy, it still was fine. There wasn't like any moments we thought, oh, that was a botch or anything like that. But apart from the springboard stunner, because that springboard stunner is freaking awful. He needs to drop that move. Austin must have been getting so angry.
Austin the thing that makes it worse is like the commentators always say, oh, he's barely hit it.
Yeah, that's what he said, didn't it? He only got you know, a quarter of it. It's just like, oh, come on. It's just a bad move. He never gets the spring right. And then when he does nail it, he just kind of falls on his arse, and Owens or whoever it is just has to drop to make sure it looks half decent. Austin will hate it. He freaking hates it. He hates that, and he hates people that can't sell a DDT, and that is a fact. But overall, it's definitely one of my favourite matches this year, if not my favourite. So all good, and I think building from this, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to see what Owens does while Cena is out. How long do we think Cena's going to be out for? It can't be longer than at least a week.
He'll probably be back next week, I think.
Because you can't keep him down. You can never keep John Cena down.
But I think that'd make the feud even better if Cena was to stay away for like an extra week or something. He doesn't have to wrestle, just have him do something else.
He's got to sell that merch, though, isn't he? He's got to be there. That's the only reason why he's there. I'd like him to stay off telly for a little bit, because then it gives Owens an opportunity to just keep being this, arrogant arse that he is. And he obviously did it on Raw when he... I have to look up my notes for this because we do not know who this guy is. Oh, Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, he powerbombed Machine Gun Kelly off of the stage on Monday Night Raw, and me and Paul came up with some really funny comments about that. What did I say? I think that I said that this is hilarious, by the way, that the machine gun has run out of bullets.
Oh God,
that was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing.
And what did you follow up with?
I went with Machine Gun Kelly was on Raw, but Kevin Owens was calling the shots.
See? Oh, brilliant. See? There you go. We Talkers, that is We Talk at its best. That will go in the We Talk Hall of Fame, if there ever is one. So anyway, that is John Cena, Kevin Owens out the way. And like I say, I'm looking forward to the next instalments. And who do you want him to kind of pick things up with? Let's say Cena is out for maybe a couple of weeks. Who would you like him to pick a fight with? Because I still got a feeling that he could. I'm going to throw this out there. I still got a feeling that he could be the Authority's guy at some point. Because Triple H loves him.
God, I don't know. I don't think he could go for Brock Lesnar.
I would love to see that match, though.
I'd love to see it, but I don't know. And I can't think of anyone above Cena apart from someone like Roman Reigns, which I don't want to happen.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one. Like, there's not many people he could go for. That's what makes us think Cena could be back pretty quick. Although
I think he might just go on like a rampage and just keep like hitting everyone like he did with Dolph on Raw. I think he might just take a few of them out.
And obviously we're recording this on Wednesday, and I think tonight's the big match with Samoa Joe, isn't it?
It is on NXT.
So I don't expect him to lose this match, or I expect him to get like a DQ or a fudgy finish, because when it comes to Saturday, everyone will know. But I don't expect him to drop the belt, because I think he's going to drop the belt against Finn Balor in Japan, like we said before. So I don't know how they're going to get around that. To see.
I don't think he should lose it until this feud with Cena's over.
Yeah, but I don't... When is the Tokyo event? It's soon, isn't
it's
it?
next 2 weeks, I think. I'm not sure.
I think they're going to get the belt off him so he can just go up permanently then. So I think they will move him up. And I know he's on the main roster anyway, but I think they want to kind of cut the tie with NXT a little bit and maybe get him in the mix with the main roster completely. But I don't know. I really wanted to see that Joe feud and Kevin Owens develop more before the big match, and it doesn't feel like... I say it's definitely lost its edge with having all this stuff with Cena.
It's just bad timing.
That is it. We mentioned it last week. It is bad timing. So anyway, I hope the match is good, and obviously you guys can fill us in the comment section when it comes to Saturday. So next up, this match for me kind of flew by because I think I was still recovering from Cena versus Owens, but it was New Day and Primetime Players, and a bit of a surprise that the belts changed hands. I think we predicted it, Paul.
Did we? I can't remember. I know. I went with the New Day in my other predictions.
Oh, maybe I went for it then. Did I go for that?
Possibly.
Probably did. What did you go for, Elle, in your predictions?
I went for New Day as well.
That's a shame. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I thought the match kind of flew by, because maybe that's because I was still recovering from John Cena, Kevin Owens, and it has actually become that. Having that match in the middle of everything really does take away the matches afterwards, and it did. It's good though, because I think this feud's got a lot more going with it, with New Day and the Primetime Players. So I don't mind that the belts got dropped, because I think we said on We Talk last week that potentially they can switch them back quite easily and it doesn't do any damage to anybody, and it's building a good feud between these two tag teams.
Yeah, I think it's a credible win for the Primetime Players. I think it's good that they've given them that. Usually they'll hold off when a tag team comes up. So I'm glad they've given them it, and like you say, they can easily switch them back at some point.
thought the way Titus hits the ring now is just kind of immense.
He's like a beast, isn't he?
He's a beast. He just throws people around. It's like that. What is it? That shoulder tackle that he does?
Yeah.
It's like, crikey. Wouldn't be hit with that, would I? It's just. What did you think of the match, El?
I did miss the end of it, so I missed when they won because it was. You could say it was my toilet break, but I was getting a cup of tea. I'm kind of on the fence with if I thought they should win or not because I do love primetime players, but I don't know. It felt a bit too soon to take it off New Day.
Do you like though what they're doing with New Day? Because if you noticed it was that Money in the Bank. They cut that promo, and I kind of like what they're doing with the whole that Big E is the driver of the positivity, and you can see that like obviously Kofi had lost, Xavier had got a little bit annoyed about it, and I really like the fact that Xavier's getting close to the edge, but Big E has to pull him back in, and the positivity with the New Day rocks. It just I like that. And I imagine at some point they're all going to snap, but it's good. I think character development, they have got one of the best gimmicks going at the moment. That definitely generates a reaction every single time they're out there. I'll leave you guys to elaborate.
No, I really do like the New Day. That's why I think it was a bit too soon to drop it yet. Because I don't know, with this new angle, with the whole thing, I don't know, it kind of feels like, they're going on like a downward spiral. Like you can almost picture the end of it if they are going to start snapping and whatnot. I think they could have gone a bit further before that started to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's how they're going to break them up, but it seems a bit soon. I would prefer this to like carry on because I really enjoy it.
Oh, you think they're going to break them up soon?
I don't know if they'll break them up soon, but like they're putting the cracks there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think isn't that just a little thing of just kind of getting to show that they're heels? So it's like, they've got the positivity, but it does actually get to them a little bit, that the crowd gets on their back a bit. I think that's all it is at the moment. It's just teasing a little bit. That I don't think they're going to go down the route of putting a crack in terms of their workmanship together. I don't think that's there just yet.
If they hadn't already won the belt, I'd say, yeah, fair enough. But I think because they've lost it and then they're going on like that, I just thought that was like a downward spiral.
I reckon they'll steal them back.
Yeah, I reckon like maybe the cracks are there, but they'll sort of again go with the whole embrace the power of positivity and eventually win the titles back and say, look, we did that. We showed we can do it. So that's how I see it going. Yeah,
that would be great as well because obviously they'd get even more bigger headed with that if they win them back and all the positivity comes back in again. So I think that in terms of a feud, it's a nice feud that we've got, and with like Tyson Kidd being out and Cesaro not really sure what's going on with him at the moment, then they need these two tag teams to really step up. So it's good, and kind of brings us in to the world title match, and this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, and I saved it for now. Was I don't know whether it was the Cena match, Cena Owens being so good, but I at the stage after watching that felt not as interested in this main event. Like, I think it's because we've seen it so many times. We've seen Ambrose versus Rollins so often now. I'm not that fussed about it. It's always a good match, but it doesn't make me think, oh yes, it's Ambrose versus Rollins.
That's the feeling I got as well.
I wasn't that fussed. Like, I would have preferred, to be honest, if Ambrose had won this match and Ambrose had gone on to be the one to challenge Lesnar, and we'd had the Lunatic versus the Beast, because I think that would just kind of spice it up. I think what we're going to get at the moment is a bit more like the cowardly Rollins being put in a corner like we've got, and he's going to be pushed and pushed and pushed. And then I think he will stand up for himself, but who knows? This authority thing's kind of still unraveling. I'm not really sure where that's going. But yeah, the match itself on the night, it had some great spots in it, but I just wasn't into it. How did you feel, Elle?
I was pretty much the same. I think I was a bit like that with the match card itself, like for that match. I don't know, it seems like they've ran that course a bit too long because they've teased it for a while as well beforehand. I don't know, I'm sick of seeing the members of the Shield go up against one another.
Well, it was interesting the way they build it, because they had that backstage segment with Ambrose and Reigns, and it was almost like billing that Ambrose would win the belt, Reigns would then look to cash in, that would be a big match coming up, and none of it happened. So it's all building, I think, to the triple threat. But the triple threat for me is not interesting at the moment. They need to take this huge break, get them all away from each other, because it just, like you say, it just feels like every week it's the Shield show with an addition of the Authority involved. So yeah, the spots were good. Like I liked the power bombs into the sides of the arena, whatever you want to call it. But I liked all that with the ladder and the chairs, and I liked the idea that you can't keep Ambrose down. He always gets back up. He keeps fighting. But I just felt that because the Cena match was so good, that this really just didn't spark. And that's where I got with it.
It did, yeah. That was my issue with it. I think it was the same last time around as well, because like after Cena and everything, everyone was still talking about that. So the main event was more of an afterthought. And then having already seen like Money in the Bank, this being a ladder match, it didn't really seem to go like it's something fresh and new to keep watching. It was like, oh well, we've just seen Money in the Bank, so is this ladder match really going to be as good?
What did you think of the finish? Like I really think they would have been better off going with an Ambrose win. They could have given the belt back to Rollins at another point, but I really didn't like that whole pulling down and actually if you watch it, it's Ambrose who gets the belt. It's just snatched off him when he hits the mat. Is that how it works? I thought it was when if you pull the belt down and you hit the mat, you're the one that gets the victory. But maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think it works like that, because there was something similar in TNA a few weeks ago. I think it was the knockouts and a contract fell on the floor and it was the first one to pick it up. So it must be like some sort of rule when it comes to ladder matches.
Did you just bring up TNA on We Talk?
Yeah.
Ah, excellent stuff. We have someone else that likes TNA. Yay! 3 people that like TNA. There's not many people that do like it, but there you go. Anyway,
I can think of one.
That don't like it.
That don't like it.
Just doesn't like it. Never likes it.
Likes green ropes though.
Likes green ropes. Don't like the green belt though. That is horrible, let's be honest.
I like it.
What?
I don't know. I'm 50-50. It's alright, but
why?
I prefer the old one, but
why is it green? This is well off subject, but why is it green? What's the reason for the green?
they might have saved money on it. It's like economy or something.
or someone put it in the wash. When I saw it, I was just like, so we had the thing with the ropes and the GFW green ropes, and Dixie Carter then decides to brand her belt with the green when the company logo is red and the main product is Impact Wrestling, which is blue. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just that logic. Why does she do that? Oh, you're not going to start me off ranting about TNA this week, but I just didn't understand it. And why did it need to be changed? The blue one was fine.
I like the blue. I don't know why they made the change, but
It's high energy.
it looks alright. It's just green doesn't make a lot of sense.
I reckon it's sponsored by something like Monster or something like that, and they've got to make the belt green or something.
They wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's for another week. You're definitely invited back on to debate TNA. I'm sure there'll be lots of people that want to come on and talk about TNA. But yeah, back to Rollins and Ambrose. Yeah, I wasn't that keen on the finish. I'll put it that way. I would like to see a clean finish, and I would like to see Ambrose win. Paul, what did you think?
My main issue was the fact that Ambrose kept getting up. Like, the amount of things that Seth done to him, he should have been dead at that point. But you mentioned earlier about Austin being annoyed that people can't sell a DDT. I'm sure he was sitting there watching it thinking, you should be dead. Why are you getting up? Like, sell the damn move. But he didn't. He just kept getting up all the time. And it got to the point, like, what are you going to do to actually keep the guy down? So, I don't know.
It was like when you get hit by a badass move, like a chair, a ladder, a chair, a ladder, a chair. It was ridiculous when it was that bit when he got buried. It was like the worst Undertaker impression you've ever seen. He like rised from the dead and then he come up the ladder again. And it's like it was a bit OTT. But I mean, they're doing that with Ambrose. That's his thing, isn't it? His thing is that he can just be destroyed. He's been destroyed loads of times and just keeps getting back up, even to the point where he could be dead.
He could be, but he'll always get up.
And the amount of times he does that, I'm not ranting on Ambrose because I do like Ambrose, but you know that move where he goes in the ropes, he comes back out, does the clothesline. I like that when he does it in the ring. I hate it when he does it on the outside.
Yeah, on the apron.
It looks like Homer Simpson when he did the whoop 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 with his legs. He just looks ridiculous. I don't like it. It's just I don't know. It doesn't look right. Anyway, but you're right. How do you keep Dean Ambrose down then? What do you need to do?
No idea at this point. Just handcuff him to something.
Yeah, like drive him into the river like they used to.
Oh yeah, throw him off the balcony of some bridge somewhere.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy the finish, Elle? Did you think that was a good way to kind of finish the pay-per-view, and the whole thing with Triple H at the end with the acknowledgement as well was a bit crap considering what's happened on Raw.
It didn't like the finish, but it does suit Rollins to a T, like his whole character. So I think I would have preferred him to have won clean, especially if he's going to go on to face Brock Lesnar. It would have made a lot more sense.
What I did like was when Rollins did come out on Raw, he was so happy with himself. You've never seen someone so happy. He did it all by himself. He loved every second of it. And then they spoilt his whole night by telling him that this is the bit I don't get, right? So Triple H cut that kind of promo at Money in the Bank to tell him, this is your moment and all that stuff, and you've got to show that you're the best, and obviously Rollins come out and by hook or crook won. And then he did all that to show that he's backing him. And what have we got? We're going to get Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And the Authority have booked this match when originally they suspended Brock Lesnar and they didn't want him there because he was destroyed and going for the Authority. And now they've booked the match.
And Michael Cole's got rid of his lawsuit as well, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What? What's wrong with this Authority? They picked Seth Rollins, and now it's like they're trying to... It's the Orton factor, because Randy Orton had this shit when he was a champion. It's the same thing.
Well, people seem to think that come SummerSlam it's going to be Triple H versus Seth Rollins, so I think that's what they're trying to go for now.
Well, there's no freaking way that a pedigree, particularly Seth Rollins' pedigree, is going to beat Brock Lesnar, so he's going to have to bring back the curb stomp for sure.
I don't see why they got rid of that, to be fair. It's not that brutal. There's worse moves.
But how on earth is Seth Rollins going to beat Brock Lesnar? How do you think that match can actually play out? I can't see it. So there's going to have to be some dodgy finish. They're going to have like J&J security coming down, and then they're going to have Kane, Triple H. But then that makes no sense because they booked the match.
I think the Authority could always turn on Seth Rollins if it's going to be at the pay-per-view.
Well,
which will lead into the next one.
Lesnar becomes like the corporate champ.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Well, I could see that happening, but I really wanted the storyline of Brock Lesnar like going through the entire Authority, and it doesn't feel like he's going to do that now. It feels like he just doesn't like Seth Rollins. What do you think, Paul? You're being very quiet back there, keyboard warrior.
I'm just listening to your opinions, and then come in just...
Now can weigh in.
Yeah, it's just like... We've seen Brock win and be the dominant champ and sort of be against the Authority. So maybe like we always say it doesn't make sense, and like Triple H has been against Lesnar in the past, but they'll just forget that as they usually do. So that makes perfect sense in WWE sense. So I could see him maybe being the corporate champ and them just endorsing him and being like, Brock Lesnar's the guy. But at the same time, that promo on Raw from Triple H, he says the reason he brought Lesnar back was when you sort of put someone in that position, then it gives them a chance to prove themselves, and they can see if Seth's going to be the diamond that they thought he would be.
Oh, yeah.
So it gives them that chance, and it makes sense. But why would you go to all this trouble to have him keep the title if you're then going to put him up against Lesnar?
Do you think they know where they're going with this storyline? Or do you think they are writing it on the fly?
I think...
stupid.
I think they've got no idea what they're doing.
I personally think they're not sure yet. I think they could be like, they could have like 50 scenarios of what they think they want to happen, but they're not sure yet. I think there could be scenarios where they think they can get Reigns involved. I think there's scenarios where they think that Sheamus could be your guy, that or he could be the Authority guy at some point. It's just, but I don't think they know exactly where they're going with this. Throwing Lesnar in the mix puts a massive spanner in the works because he's the beast. No one can beat the beast.
Well, I thought with Ambrose having the title also with Rollins when they fell down, that would lead to Ambrose saying, well, I had the title, so I should be in the match. I deserve a rematch. And we might get another triple threat match, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
No, it looks like he's entering a feud, isn't he, with Sheamus now?
Possibly, yeah. So, again, Ambrose, just like Reigns, put in the main event, didn't win, dropped back down.
That's what it's going to be, because with Brock, every time Brock comes back, someone's got to move aside unless they do triple threat matches. So this is the trouble you've got with Lesnar. And next pay-per-view is Payback?
Battleground, I think.
Is it? Oh.
Japan, then Battleground, then SummerSlam.
There's too many.
I don't mind, though.
I don't know. I think I've kind of preferred it when we had a gap because it gave a lot more time for story development. I think it's too like bang, bang, bang.
But the thing is, for all that the ads been too like close, I don't know, the quality seems to be a bit better on them. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like they know there's not much of a story there, so let's put on some great matches. So I can't argue with that.
Well, that's what you're getting, aren't you? You are getting these good network specials, but because Lesnar's gonna wrestle at like Battleground, because I originally thought he was going to be SummerSlam bound, because we don't usually use Lesnar unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, he has come back a week early apparently, so they must have some sort of thing in mind.
There's no way Seth Rollins can get out of that without some sort of fudgy finish.
I think the thing is they probably know where they want to go come SummerSlam, but it's that path before SummerSlam, so we're probably going to get a few weeks of clusterness and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely asks the question of what's going to happen, because I think that's what we want to get from everybody this week is where do you think it's going to go? Do you think Lesnar's going to get the gold off of Rollins? Or I think Rollins will be shown to be that diamond. You can't keep teasing that you want him to, show that he's got the potential if you're not going to let him have it.
I think so. I can't see it being a clean finish though, so it'll be something dodgy. And he'll be like one of them cheap diamonds.
He's like the Eddie Guerrero of like this era.
But by hook or crook, he gets victories. So it's just when Triple H gets annoyed and wants to become champion. That's the only problem. Because I can see that happening. Pedigree versus pedigree, great stuff. That move sucks, by the way. The pedigree from Seth Rollins is not good. Yeah,
you need Steph to show him how to do it.
That's a good point. Actually, she does a way better pedigree.
She does. It's so good.
They need to sort out his move, because he needs a proper official finishing move. At the moment, it's like, I don't know.
I think everyone would pop as well if he did bring back the curb stomp specifically for Brock. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need to bring it back all the time, just for like certain things like that.
Well, that's what they said in the past. They said that potentially it would be used for special attractions and events. So if there was a time, you use it against Brock Lesnar. But yeah, it's in a way though. If we do look at the way that this pay-per-view unfolded, there is quite a lot of positives to take from it. Obviously, we've got Cena and Kevin Owens. That's building. Owens obviously just taking over in terms of Raw by doing crazy kind of stuff. But we've got that. We've got some interesting stuff going on with the Divas, because it sounds like potentially we're going to get some NXT women moving up. Sheamus, it's going to be unpredictable with Sheamus, what he's going to do. Maybe going into a feud with Dean Ambrose. So there is a lot going on, and I think it's all quite good. So it's positive, because sometimes we get told that we're too negative. But, I mean, I'm not as negative as Twitter. So nobody's as negative as Twitter is.
I'm saying nothing.
I think we said enough on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
I was well happy on the other day on Twitter. I love being on Twitter and just like...
Not you.
What did you two do?
Some idiot started ranting.
Yeah, we had to rise above it.
What was he ranting at you about?
John Cena.
What, good or bad?
Well,
I don't know, actually.
I think we were happy to see Kevin Owens do something after the match and take out Cena, because it kind of redeemed Owens for the loss. But then he had like a Cena superfan who got his underpants in a twist.
Oh no!
Obviously, he had them over his tights. So yeah, he just wasn't happy.
There was a lot of them around on Sunday. There was a lot of people just wanting to argue the points for like no reason, and I don't know. Best thing to do is just retweet them, to be honest. Let everyone else just get on top of it.
Or as I like to say, do you like chocolate because he's a block?
So I gather you two dealt with this situation and won this situation, yeah? Another win for the good guys, yeah? Excellent.
Always.
Excellent. So, yeah, I mean, is there anything else we want to talk about in terms of Raw? I think we kind of covered everything.
I don't think there's anything else.
I think we kind of just got it all in one, which is awesome.
Unless you want to point out how Machine Gun Kelly apparently no-sold his attack from Kevin Owens.
Did he no-sell it?
Yeah, I didn't like that. He got it way too quick.
I like the fact that he stumbled when he got booted in the midsection, that he stacked it. That was great.
Well, like, the doctors that come out, they're like, you could hear them talking, and they're like, oh, I think you might have a spinal injury. It's like, well, why did you just quickly get him up? Like, surely you could have left him there and just made no sense. Stupid.
What was the thing that he said to Kevin Owens when he pushed him? Because he was like, at first it was like, shake my hand, and then Owens didn't really do anything. He just looked at his hand. He was like, turned into like gangster mode. It was like right in his face, and Owens was like, I haven't done that shit. Kick you in the stomach and powerbomb you. See you later.
I think he had flashbacks to Cena, like offering his hand.
It was so funny. Owens' face is just the best though. When things like that happen, it's just like, are you serious?
No Rusev though.
No one beats Rusev. I'm missing Rusev. I didn't get to see what Rusev did on Raw. I hope it's something good. Hope we had a new facial expression.
I hope so.
That's what people should do, right? Part of We Talk, tweet me your favourite Rusev expression. That would make my day. If I'm having a bad day, just tweet me your favourite Rusev. There's so many good ones. I could find some now if I want. I'm going to do that after the show.
You shouldn't do that. You'll end up ruining his career. He'll be like a jobber before we know it.
He's already becoming a jobber.
Oh, don't say that.
He is. He's in the downward spiral. He's got no legs at the moment, right? He's got no legs. He's got no girlfriend. Everything's gone wrong for him. What else could go wrong? What could be worse?
He seemed to be losing his accent a little bit. Like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. He was shouting to Michael Cole and his accent seemed to go a little bit.
Russia's disowned him. He's Bulgarian again. You know, he's just...
Feel sorry for the guy.
Exactly. Everyone feels sorry for him. Pray for Rusev.
Give Rusev a chance.
Rusev a chance.
I'm behind that one.
Little Rusev. So that kind of brings us to the end of this week's We Talk, and it's gone really fast.
Taz flown over.
It has. Must be because we've got a girl on the show. That's kind of amazing. Never thought we'd
Got
say
someone
this.
that makes sense for a change.
That's true.
Well, I don't think I go that far.
So I had to put up with weeds for about a year, so there's not much sense made from that. I'm sure you like that one.
You're going to get the backlash in the comments now.
Oh yeah, where's Weeds? It's like
Just for weed.
It's like where's Wally? You know.
I'm sure there's like something brewing here. It's leading to a match or something.
I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know. He's still like with Mike Tenay in a dungeon somewhere. Can't really find anything.
Yeah, he's like Brad Maddox. He'll be in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, I've got no reception. Can't get through to him. I don't know what's going on? Can't have a match if I don't know where he is. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this week's We Talk, and I think it's time for a few of those. Someone's put in the comments last week that they think that I say it's the Sheamus plugs. It's the shameless.
I seen that,
yeah, it's the shameless plugs. You know, like no shame. But anyway, have you got any Sheamus plugs for us this week, Paul?
I haven't got any Sheamus plugs. Shameless plugs, I would say come check out the Smack Talks channel for some mods in action. And check out mine Elles Minecraft series. That's really cool. If you want to check that out, that's something different.
Elle, you got anything to add to that?
You can always head on over to my website, www.therevolution.co.uk. I've got a few new Minecraft videos coming out, some with Paul, some are going to be on my own starting from next week. And I've also got my Divas Career mod, which is still going on, so check that out.
Yeah, make sure you do. There'll be links in the description box below for all of those details. I don't know what that was, but there's going to be a link in the description box for all of them. And from me, I guess, Saturday night main event, Bray Wyatt has arrived, so there's going to be some aftermath of that on tonight's show, because obviously I'm trying to talk like it's Saturday, but it's not, it's Wednesday. It's all confusing, you know, all sorts of stuff going on. But anyway, make sure you check it out. And yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of another We Talk. So all that's left to be said is this is going to be weird, because I don't know how we're going to do this, because Paul, you're going to catch us later, yeah?
I shall catch you later.
But then, Elle, what are you going to do?
Say bye.
Oh,
I don't know.
say bye.
Bye.
Cool. This is the end of We Talk, and this is Delzinski, Elle, and Smack Talks signing out.
Hi, wrestling fans and gamers. Velvet Sky here, and I just want to say I've been hearing a rumor that Delzinski.com is the best place for video gaming and wrestling content. Now, if you're a wrestling fan and a hardcore gamer like myself, then I suggest you check out Delzinski.com. You will not be disappointed. Holler!